Hey, happy day 830 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service. If I can help you in any way, please ask me in the comments below, especially during this crazy psycho time that we're all experiencing together, it's amazing, right? It's so interesting. You know, each and every one of us experience our lives and we go through different things at different times. And even though we feel like we're alone in all the challenges that we face and all the obstacles and the dilemmas and the things that we're trying to do and the stuff that happens to us or around us or to people that we love and care about, usually we're going through that experience and we feel like we're all alone. Even though there's probably thousands, if not millions of people experiencing something similar, we each feel like we're alone because as human beings, we live our lives through our own filter and through our own experience. And it's such a unique time in the world when almost all of us on the planet, if not all of us on the planet, are experiencing the pandemic, the COVID-19 coronavirus at the same time. We are, instead of some of us being in upheaval in some way, shape, or form, it's like the whole planet is in upheaval and adjustment in some way, shape, or form. Even when there's big storms or national disasters or bad things that happen, usually it only affects a small percent or a small number of people relatively compared to the population. But here we are, all 8 billion or how many of us are really on the planet today, who really knows? I think it's humorous that we're doing a census right now in 2020 in America. It just cracked me up when I got the census form. I was like, okay, yep, this will be a good one. Anyway, afraid. I've been talking about and was talking about being afraid today in my Facebook Live and on the Supersize Your Business page, because the idiom today was have your heart in your mouth. And that, of course, means to be terrified about something. Homer used it in the Iliad, and ever since then, when we're frightened, you know, our heart pounds really, really fast. Our throat gets tight, and so we feel like our heart is in our mouth, or our heart is in our throat, and it's hard to talk. And so I was thinking, of course, of all the times I've actually felt that way and been afraid of things. And I didn't have any trouble making a big old list of them. And I thought it was interesting, you know, some of the things. And then I got to thinking about, well, what do you share and what do you not share with people? I mean, do you share about how I felt when I found out that my husband had a girlfriend? I definitely had that heart in my mouth feeling. How do you share, you know, the first time I got fired, I was surprised, and my boss called me into his office, or not into his office, the HR manager called me on my day off, and I thought it was because we were working on a project together for the whole company, and here it turns out my boss was there and I was getting terminated, and I was totally out of left field, had no idea that I was going to get fired. And so that was definitely a heart in my mouth experience. Sometimes first day of school, first day at a new school, first day of a new job, sometimes I would get that heart in my mouth feeling. I would just get nervous and excited. And the thing about fear I've learned over my decades of experience with it is fear and excitement have the exact same energy. They feel the same, but they're on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how I mentally feel about them, right? I feel bad about being afraid, right? Nobody wants to really be afraid or scared or frightened, but I feel really good when I'm excited. And it turns out that those are like the opposite side of a light switch. So I can take my fear, and when I'm feeling afraid, I can ask myself, what am I excited about this? What is cool about this? What is exciting about this? And I can realize that a lot of my fear that I think I'm feeling is really, I'm just excited about a new situation. I remember being scared to death on my wedding day, right? I had that same feeling on my wedding day, which was a precursor probably for events to come, but little did I know that was what it was going to be. So really fun idiom today. I don't think I've ever said I have my heart in my mouth. I don't think I've ever used that expression. I don't know that I've ever even read it except for in the Iliad. But I, and pretty much everyone I know, has actually absolutely experienced that feeling before. We just didn't know how to describe it. So thinking about and talking about things that we're afraid of right now. And for a lot of us, the things that we're afraid of and that we're noticing right now are totally different than they were just weeks ago, right? You know, a month and a half ago or so. It's since March, everything has changed. And the thing that's unique and special about this situation is that it's changed for all of us simultaneously. So instead of a few people being nervous and afraid and upset and out of sorts because our lives have been thrown up in the air and blown up, almost everyone, at least in America, almost everyone on the planet has had to change and grow and adjust and figure stuff out all at the same time, which makes for a really interesting set of experiences all of us are going through. So I was excited about that idiom today. I get excited when it's easy to go back in my life and think of examples of when I've been feeling that way. And then the trick is, well, what experiences do I share? What ones are pertinent? Well, it depends who I'm talking to. It depends on the audience, right? So for Supersize Your Business, getting fired is probably the most appropriate example to share, or starting a new job, or the challenges that our businesses are facing, because each of us, although we feel like our business is different and unique and special and we're the only one facing it, we're definitely not the only one facing it now, right? There are millions of restaurants and bars, and it's different in each municipality, it's different in each state, what we can and cannot do according to our local regulations, our local laws and guidelines. And so we're all having to figure that out, and that's kind of unique and different. But actually, if you boil it down to the basic foundational things that each type of business needs to do, it's pretty straightforward and really simple. And the trick is to break things down to the basic and the simple and do those things instead of getting overwhelmed by all of the things we could possibly have to worry about or do, right? What do we need to do next? The biggest, most important question for each and every business owner, each and every human being on the planet right now is, what do I need to do right now? What do I personally need to do right this very minute, right now? Maybe it's just have a cup of coffee, or take a deep breath, or look out the window at the beautiful spring that's breaking out in many parts of our country. Finally, the trees are blooming. Sunsets are gorgeous. I don't know if the lack of production and the lack of people driving around and moving around is impacting our environment, but it sure feels like it is, and it sure looks like it is as I look around at nature and things. And I always have been a big study of nature and watching things. I love to spend time out in nature. So that is the whole diatribe on the idiom for today. Fun day challenge was draw something weird that you see at the playground, which just made me laugh out loud, because not too long ago my granddaughter and I went for a walk to the playground, and actually my daughter was still with us. My daughter was with us before she went out to Colorado to be with her husband, and before she lost her job, of course. And we walked over to the park, and all of the playground equipment just that day had been shut down by the governor, and the municipality, our city, had gone around and caution taped off all of the playground equipment. And so we can walk through the park as long as we stay away from each other, except for our family units for social distancing, which I call physical distancing. I think it's a better term than, I don't remember who used it first, but I really like it because I think it's a better way of describing what we need to do. We don't need to be socially disconnected because there's so much technology that can keep us connected and communicating with one another, but we want to be physically spaced out from one another. So I drew a picture of the caution tape around the playground equipment. Not a very good picture, might I add, but that was my thing because it made me laugh out loud as soon as I read that. And that's the purpose of the fun challenge, is to get us and get me and you focusing on something fun every single day. And it was before, I started it before COVID-19, but I'm certainly glad I did, because it's helping me maintain my balance and my sense of humor and my perspective throughout this whole thing. Because there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on, right? A lot of weird stuff. So it was day 130, or 130? Yeah. Nope, no. 121, day 121. I'm like, that's not right. Day 121 of the Do One Fun Thing Every Day challenge. 365 days, we will do one fun thing every single day in that group. I will do one fun thing every single day. It's easy when my granddaughter's here to do one fun thing every day. But it's a good reminder when she's not here on the weekends to remind myself it's not all about work and exercise and taking care of myself and doing stuff around the house. I need to have fun too, right? And sometimes those things are fun. sometimes they're not so fun. One of the projects I'm doing throughout COVID-19 is cleaning and organizing the basement. Not fun, right? It's better than cleaning bathrooms, but it's kind of right up there with not my favorite things to do. But I find ways to make it fun because I uncover and discover things that I had totally forgotten that I even had or existed. And that's always a fun little adventure. So there's always fun things we can find in the things that we do. So Fun Day Challenge, Get Up and Go Challenge. It will be a 5-day structured challenge on Monday, starting Monday, May 11th, day after Mother's Day. And I've taken the 30-day challenge because I've done this challenge before, but instead of being a 30-day challenge, I'm just pulling out the most important, most foundational, basic parts and doing a 5-day challenge. 5-day challenge, free challenge, of course, to help people get up and go. Because I know in my heart that 80% of the population, 80% of any population is not doing what they could do or need to be doing, and really not even could do what they need to be doing and they must do because they don't even know they need to do it, is get up and go and move during this time. Not wait for the world to go back to normal. Not just wait for things to change. Not just wait for somebody to bail them out. Not just wait for money from the government. Not just wait to decide what they want and what's right for them and what the next step is. And so I think it's imperative that we do this challenge on Monday and that we keep doing it. And we keep sharing with people, hey, it's not that hard. Here's the 4 things that you can do right now. Here's the, you only really have to do one thing. But here's the 4 foundational things you need to do right now to get up and go and keep moving and going in your life. Not for me, not for anybody else on the planet, not for your spouse, not for your friends, not for your family, not for anything, but for you. Here's what you need and want to do. And mostly we don't just need it, we want to do it. We should want to do it, but we also need to for our own lives so that we can continue to thrive after, during, whenever, but especially during this pandemic. So we'll do that starting Monday. It'll be a 5-day challenge, and we'll probably do 2 to 5 days of bonus material because I love to add more value to the end of it. So we'll do the core things in the 5 days, and then I'll add some bonus and special things, some detailed, hey, this is exactly how you do this thing from day 1. Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me show you. Well, maybe we'll do little workshops. So we'll do like 4 or 5 days of little workshops that walk you step by step exactly how to do the things that we talked about in the 5-day challenge, because life doesn't have to be any more complicated than the next step. So I'm excited about the Get Up and Go challenge. I enjoyed doing it the first time. I think 30 days, again, just like 80% of the population's waiting to know what to do, 80% of the population, or probably 95% of the population, won't do a 30-day challenge. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying most people won't do a 30-day challenge. When I look at my first 365-day challenge, I actually personally done a 365-day challenge before, actually several of them, before I entered one, but a couple days or the day before, a 365-day Facebook Live challenge was starting by Marian Asano started it. He's a gentleman I knew through ClickFunnels. After Funnel Hacking Live, I want to say 2018, right after that, he said, hey, I'm going to do something with this, figuring out videos and do a video every day, and I'm going to bring some people along with me. So he started a group, and he invited a bunch of us. I don't even know how I got hooked up with it. I have no idea, but the magic of social media brought that into my forefront, and I said yes. I said, yeah, I'll do this. I'll jump on and do a 365-day challenge in the group. It was a private group where we share a video every day, and if you missed a day, no matter what, whatever the reason, you were out, right? You were done. And I think we started out with a lot of us, and within a month, I think it was down to maybe 30, less than 30 people. I bet we were down to 21 people within a month. And then people just started to fall off. And we ended up, 7 of us of all the people that started actually completed the challenge as it was written. Even, sorry, Marian, but you missed some days. Even Marian, the one who started it, missed a couple of days along the way. And so it goes to show you, and that plays out, that statistic, those numbers, they play out in everything in life, right? The 80-20 principle, Pareto's principle, which a lot of people know, but I guess a lot of people don't. it plays out in every aspect of our lives. It plays out in everything. You know, and you can apply it to absolutely anything. Just like statistics, you can make them say whatever you want. But it does pan out. It does ring true. So that's why I hated it. I used to hate it when in different businesses, when we were trying to help people with different things. I knew that, and it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just the way things work out. I knew that 90% of the people that we tried to help were never going to let us help them. They were never going to work with us. But the 10% that were, that's where I had to focus my attention. It's true in every situation you ever see. It's, you know, it's the bell curve, right? Statistics in the bell curve. People study these things so that they know and understand that. That rang true in everything in school, in everything in corporate America, in everything in my life. And the interesting thing is we can choose if we want to be in that 80%, or if we want to be in the 20%, if we want to be in the 20%, or if we want to be in the 5%. If we want to be in the 5% or the 3%, it's up to each and every one of us to decide where do we want to be, how do we want to live our life, and what is it that each and every one of us want to accomplish. So, thinking about that today, and I am going to just sign off because my amazing little 4-year-old granddaughter is going to be here any second, and I devote myself to her when she's here. So have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. If you want to know about the Get Up and Go challenge, ask in the comments below. Just say Get Up or something, and I will send you the link. It's just on the Get Up and Go Facebook page, written out Get Up and Go challenge, and that's the name of the Facebook page. You could always look it up, or I will attempt to remember to add it in the comments below. Have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.